ghost hunter spooks and demon.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Thriving in Chaos. I am your host, Rebel Phoenix, and with me as always is my co-host, Stella Rune.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
hey. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm better now. Now that
Better
I
now
get
that you're
to see,
here.
now that you're here and I get to see that happy smiling face of yours on this
Yeah,
amazingly beautiful Saturday.
I was gonna say it's beautiful outside and I took medication. What a great combination for our show today. It's gonna be wonderful.
It is. It is. We actually have a change of pace today too.
Very
But
excited.
But before we get to the party in
Oh,
the back, we got to get the business out of the way up front.
always, as always.
As always, you guys know the routine. I'm going to need you to go check out our merch site,
Yep.
thrivingin chaos.printful. I always add the extra
I do
I.
it too every single time.
Okay.
Not me.
Thrivingin chaos.printful.me, which
Yes.
is always going to be in our description. So you guys don't have to remember that. I'll remember it for you. And definitely also check out our TikTok shop, guys. We are on there loud and proud. So
Yeah.
definitely
Buy
check
my
out.
toothpaste.
Yes, for the love of God, buy Stella's toothpaste that she can't shut up about.
I love it.
You
Feels like
see
a
the
silicone.
sparkling shine on that smile. Ding.
I want to add the purple stuff too, the teeth whitener stuff, because that stuff's amazing.
Ooh.
The kid was like, the older kid, she was like, "Oh, can we buy this?" And I was like, "Fine." And then we did, and I was like, "Oh, never mind. I'm glad we bought this. Good call, kid." Because High Smell just makes a good product. I mean, it doesn't taste like toothpaste. I cannot stand mint, and this one tastes like a snow cone. So I'm super happy with it.
If you want your kids to eat their toothpaste, buy them the snow cone flavored
Hey.
raspberry.
Also, if you just want them to brush their teeth, buy them the toothpaste because my kids have brushed their teeth every day, twice a day since I bought it. So,
Yay.
I mean, it's a win for
Parenting
me.
from a win.
Yeah. Yeah, buy them something they like to taste, and they're not gonna, like, complain about it.
No, they're just gonna overuse it. I know I would.
I would much rather they brush their teeth than not brush their teeth, so I'll take that as a win. Mom win.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every parent in America would happily buy the toothpaste to make their kids
Oh
brush
my
their
gosh.
teeth willingly.
Well, it doesn't work to be like, brush them if you wanna keep them. Like, and then I'm like, "Oh, use this toothpaste that actually tastes good," and then they actually use it, so it works out great. It's expensive, but it's worth every single penny.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Speaking of families, though, our other sponsors could actually appeal to them. We have Cardinal Massage Therapy for the parents when they need a break, and then
Yep.
we have Mythic Print Masters for the kids when they need indestructible toys.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're such good toys. Yeah. As I said on the other podcast the other day, it is my brother who owns it, so, on a personal note, support my brother because he makes great products.
If you
Oh,
support
he's
them, you
coming up this
support
week too,
us.
and he better bring me something nice. He won't, but he should.
Y'all hear that, right? If you know her brother, tell him to bring her nice presents when he comes to visit.
By the time this airs, he's gonna be back home, so he's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen."
Yeah, I know. It was worth a shot, though.
I mean, it's always worth a shot. I'll see him in
Y-
September. It'll be fine.
A
Probably.
for effort. A for effort. It's cool. A for effort. We got this. Anyway, definitely check those guys out. I'll leave the descriptions for them, or I'll leave the links for them in our descriptions.
Yeah, that's better.
And with that said, the business is done in the front so we can bring our party out the back. And
Heck
actually,
yeah.
we have a great guest today.
Yeah, change of pace.
It is a change of pace, and it's not even in the movie industry.
Well, not yet, but he could be at some point if he wants to.
Oh, he for sure could be. You guys are going to love him. So, without further ado, let's welcome our first ever Thriving in Chaos comedian, Mr. Tim Loss.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey,
This is awesome. I've always wanted to be in movies, though. I did.
see?
See, I think in most horror movies, I think I'm camera ready to be that guy that tells the teens not to go in the forest. Don't go there. You shouldn't go there. That's trouble. Or I could be whittling a piece of wood and go, oh, I reckon a lot of people have gone down that road. Like, see, I've already
Oh my
practiced.
gosh.
See, boom.
Oh,
Somebody
we
call
need-
Anthony and Mandy.
I
need
was
this,
literally
guys.
about to say that. Anthony, Mandy, Craig, David, we got you, buddy.
If you need a Clint Howard type, boom, look no further. I could be your ice cream man. That's a deep horror movie cut. Hopefully some people gets it. But like, yeah, I've always thought like, hey, that's kind of my niche, Like I think like a Dale and Tucker,
I
I
love
could be
Dale and
Dale,
Tucker.
like
Oh.
or Tucker.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Either
I
way.
love those movies.
You give me overalls, I think I could do the part pretty well. I think
You know what you reminded me of when you said that about the whittle in the wood was the old guy in Cabin Fever at the very beginning and the very end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was actually inspiring that from I forget Fred Gwynn's portrayal in Pet Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because actually I
Yeah.
used to have an old joke. It's like you could tell, like, because I rent back in the day, I'd rent like these old apartments, and you could always tell how good your house was if you're new in town. You'd be like, hey, I live here, and they're like, oh, you live there. That's where all this bad stuff's happened there. And they're like, every local just gives you like newspaper clippings of every bad thing. You're like, cool, all right, salt in every door frame. Like this is getting a little.
Just walking
I
around your
always look
house throwing salt over your shoulder.
Yeah, just in case. You never
Just
know.
in case. You never know. You never know. You're like, oh, is
You
that
just
incense?
want-
No, it's sage. Everywhere.
The house. It's always like, oh, this house is really old. Nothing's remodeled except for the carpet in the bedroom. I don't think I'm going to go to that bedroom. I think that you could keep the bedroom. I'll sleep in the living room. That's fine. That's fine.
Just, you know what? Just fuck it. I'll sleep in the bathtub.
The power of Christ compels it.
Well, that's one of those things you dawn on. You're like, hey, they didn't remodel nothing except for this room. Get out of the room. Don't touch anything.
This is
Like, do
awkward.
not disturb this.
What are they trying to hide? They got
Feels like a
Exactly.
crime scene already.
they got them symbols on the floor.
It seems like they legally had to remodel this room for some reason. Let's get out of here. And only this room in the apartment. Let's go.
It's
So.
the only one that's up to code, guys.
What?
Let's go to the more safe area where it's not up to code. That's ironic.
Right.
That's how
Like
it works.
electricity is knob and tubing, but it's fine.
I can just picture you and the wife like showing up to this place, and you're like, I mean, it's doable, if we don't. And she goes, live.
Yeah.
You're like, no, like it. We can go somewhere else that's better next month.
We've been there. We had this apartment where it's a 2-bedroom apartment. So we're like we look at it and we're thinking it could work. And then we look at the second bedroom. And it's like it's just a small little hole. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, you could put your kid in there or storage. I'm like, those shouldn't be in the same sentence, sir.
You
Like,
store
I
your
don't.
kid in there, yeah.
Yeah, it's like why buy a ticket for your kid on the airplane? You could just store him
Yeah.
overhead in the compartment. Like,
Yeah.
that's not how that works.
It's a dumb waiter. Somebody just put walls around. Express
that's-
to the basement, guys.
Well, you always got to teach the youth to get a job immediately. So it works
That's
double
true.
ways.
That's
You
true.
Work for the. I just pictured it. Open it up like, "Hi, Dad. Here's your English muffin.
Here's
I'll be
dinner."
back later."
Yeah.
Or them standing at the airport with a sign saying, we'll work for traveling
Oh, that's
tickets.
awesome.
Kid, parentheses, kids store an overhead compartment.
I fit in a suitcase. Will travel.
He may get too many replies. That might be the thing. We gotta get you back in the house. Like that side might bring too many creeps to the airport right there. Everyone's like, I already got the suitcase. Come on, jump in. Like, oh no, this has gotten weird. All right.
No, you see a little kid up in the overhead compartment with a sock hanging out the suitcase, and he goes, Master, I presented child with a sock. The child is free now.
Master has given Davey a sock.
I was thinking even worse, like he's mad, like, nah, dude, this is my overhead compartment. You're gonna ruin it for me. Get out of here.
Get out. Get out.
Like he's the compartment troll. You have to answer a riddle to get your shit back.
Could you imagine looking across the aisle and there's just two little eyes sticking out? What's going on, guys? You got some
look-
peanuts?
That's the real Twilight Zone episode. That's what that's the real one. We need John Lithgow to come back for that. Like,
Oh my god.
they're not out on the wings, they're in the overhead compartment. Ah! Oh, that's a
Just
good
watch out
time.
for the snakes on the plane.
It's not even the snakes, it's the
Samuel-
kids.
Samuel L. Jackson's in everything, even commercials now, so he would pop up just in case.
Oh my
He
God.
wasn't even in the movie; he was just on the plane going through
I'm
gonna
another.
tired
overhead
of these
compartment,
motherfucking
like,
kids
what's
on
in your
this
wallet?
motherfucking plane.
Being on every plane.
What's in your wallet? Like, that's,
What's in your wallet?
It's like that's awesome.
No. What's in your compartment?
Ah! All right. Well, hey, I don't know if we're gonna top that. That was a good run. I've been in the
Wow, that was
business
fun.
quite a long time. That was a fun ride. You could tell
That's
we
what
didn't
she
ride
said.
on Southwest because it would have been awful. We definitely went on American at least. So,
That's what she said.
oh, oh, I'm glad we're gonna set them up and knock them down all day. This
I
is
mean,
gonna
she
be fun.
started talking back when you said fun ride, bro.
Oh, see, and that's what's crazy. Summer's coming up, and I'm trying to get in more like shape, so I don't ruin vacations this year. Because last year I was a little bit too big for some of the amusement park rides, and that's just humiliating. You know, when you sit there, you try to get everything come in, and then they get the workers to come in too, and they're like, "Oh, this is part of my job." You just feel guilty, like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have ate that cheeseburgers," and they
6
they
months
give
ago.
up.
Yeah, that really
I had
did it
one
in for
guy
me.
try to get a seatbelt, and he's like, "I don't get paid enough for this." So it's like, I agree. We could stop at any time. Like, this is just as bad for me. Like,
You know, the bad part about this is I've had this happen to me before, but like as you're saying this, I just picture them like trying to push the bars down and like the biggest fart ripping to make room.
Oh my god.
oh, I haven't.
You ever,
That's
look,
what you've
y'all,
you've
you ever have
unlocked a
to-
Black Mirror type fear in me now this summer. That's
every
going
ride
to happen.
ever.
Every-
Every coaster that Tim gets on from now on, he's gonna be like, please don't fart, please don't fart, please don't fart.
I had one lady. I was like, hey,
Suck it up.
I even told. It's just, I was like, hey, it's too much. I already know this isn't gonna work. The bell is. She's like, we got this. Rolled up her
Oh my God.
sleeve and literally I saw sweat forming. And she's like, we got him. And I was like,
That woman meant business.
we shouldn't. Yeah, too much. You could. I felt very like, oh, we didn't have to do it.
You
for
say
me.
you gonna get your ticket money's worth, big boy.
Welcome to
That's why they
Holiday
call-
World, bitch. Like,
They
so
call me Big Bertha.
They got
You ever have to,
5
like-
stars for me.
Do you ever have to like move your belly up just a little bit to get the bar like to go underneath so it fits across your hips and then your belly's just kind of hanging over? Happens to me
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's my default position. That's what I'm
Right,
like.
Hold on,
That's
I'll
when
fix it.
they're like shove it in places. I was like, sir, it's already in crevices. You don't even want to go. So
That's
like
what she
we
said.
are. This is awesome. So, oh yeah,
Long
so
there,
Down the
sir.
middle.
I'm trying to eat more vegetables so I could not embarrass my family and make the people work too hard in their brown khakis. This
So
summer.
I had my first instance of, oh my god, my ass is too big for this coaster last summer at Hershey Park. I went to ride Candymonium and my hips are wide. Like I'm not huge. Sometimes I have trouble with seats, but my hips are wide and I've always been that way ever since I was young. So I rode the Comet this past April and I was able to like squish myself in there. You gotta wiggle a little bit sometimes. But I went to sit down and I went to put the seatbelt on and I was like, this isn't gonna close. And I looked at my daughter and I was like, I'm not even gonna fight this. And she was like, I don't want to ride anyways. And I was like, cool, let's go. And we got off of it. But like
That's awesome.
Did you
We're
say
going,
it's called Candymonium?
Candymonium, yeah.
It literally
it's this
sounds
big-
like a hooker on Broadway.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know all the hookers on Broadway.
don't talk to my aunt like that. She's doing a good work out there. You know, the truckers need to keep going out there. That's America's
good
blood.
money. Thank you very much.
That's America's veins and arteries. Is the truckers out there. It's
Oh,
so
so
good.
that was the candy cane from Joyride.
Yeah, that's and the burning sensation was just the peppermint. So like that's
Yeah,
don't look
it's
too
just
much
a little
into it.
peppermint.
just a little peppermint. Despite I'm not going to go there. That's too far. We got to reel it in. All right, cool. Look, I'm
So,
glad you like
I'm doing
that.
the same
We were
thing.
just talking about Joyride too. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
We were big horror movie fans here, so we were just talking. Yeah, it's one
I
of
was just telling
a
my kids I
genre.
need to watch more of the B movies because I tend to stick to mainstream and I'm like really mad about it.
Well, we
Well, they
also
have a
have
home
to.
at Tubi. Like Tubi
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
you
Tubi's
can get
everything.
lost. I'll just you know how many evil bongs there is? There's an evil bong series. And you're like, that's ridiculous. There wouldn't be there's 9 of them. And
Oh
then
my
I'm
God.
going to blow your mind. You know how many Ginger Dead Men movies there is? 8. And there's
Oh
an
my
evil
God.
bong Ginger Dead Man crossover. I haven't
Sounds
watched any
amazing.
of them, but just the lore
Like, I
alone,
feel
I'm
like I
like,
need to get
no,
on
you don't
that.
need to. That's about as good as it's gonna get. I've
No,
seen
I
some
need to
trailers.
just to be like, oh,
You
this is
need to-
horrible, but I love it. It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
It's
So
It's like a Baltimore hooker.
Hey, that's a whole new definition of the term
well,
hoedown, bro.
you're gonna be really stoked because I just got information that Ginger Dead Man, Evil Bong, and Candemonium are having a triple crossover movie, and it's gonna be out of this
It's gonna
world.
be
It's
great.
gonna be really good.
It's gonna be
Oh
great.
God, they're
It's
having
gonna
a
be-
three-way fuck over.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the new Justice League. Zack Snyder's set to direct it somehow, and it's gonna be great.
So if you put the Ginger Dead Man and the Evil Bong together, does that give you the Evil Ding Dong?
You're gonna get some righteous evil munchies, that's for sure.
Put Candemonium
like-
in there. You have a Christmas to remember. That's what I know.
Or a crystal meth miss? If we're being
Crystal
honest,
Meth.
we gonna
That's-
have Merry Crystal Meth Miss with that kind of shit.
they sell the
Crystal meth
DVD with like by the gram or like using aluminum cans as equal payment.
I mean-
you got 2 bags of aluminum cans. Here's your DVD. All right.
I mean, fuck it. We'll just have the Evil Bong, the Ginger Dead Man, and just for shits and giggles, we'll throw in Killer Pizza too.
Oh my
What?
God. Oh, well, I mean, if you got a killer bong, you probably need a killer pizza.
I mean, somebody
Oh,
got
no.
to smoke the bong. They can. I mean, the Ginger Dead Man is technically edible, and so is the Killer Pizza. So all you got to do to kill
That's
them is
true.
eat them. Just
I'm going to go so far this joke right now. The manager of Pepperoni's on the phone with us, like, get Pepperoni out of this. Don't ruin his name. Pepperoni, you're too good for this movie. Hold out. Let Sausage deal with it. You can come up. Sausage will bring Mushroom around. It'll be all right. Pepperoni, get out of here.
Some people
Like-
prefer sausage.
That's what she
Boom,
said.
that's what she said. Ah, I'm having so much fun.
Oh, we're glad.
And
Look,
he
20
thought
minutes
he
in.
was the comedian on this show. Boy, did
No,
we show
no.
him.
No, it's all really good marketing, obviously. So this is good time. Wow. All right, this is awesome. Have you guys?
Yeah, this is why all our
broader
guests come back.
question. Have you guys ever rode a Greyhound?
I have not.
No. I
I've
feel like I would
driven
break
one.
its poor little back.
They're all
As I
the
said,
same.
my ass is this size.
He's talking about the bus, Stella.
Oh,
Not
I
the
thought you were talking
dog.
about- oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, I love
Wow.
me sometimes, guys.
I use
I was like, can you
what
do
I
that?
do is just strap Dash Chanel's to each foot and let them run for me like little scooters.
Usually I aim for mastiffs. They tend to support a little better, you know? Oh my God, I totally thought you were talking about dogs. Why did I think that? No, I've never ridden a
I
Greyhound
mean,
bus either.
you were so on board. Sorry, forget the Greyhound bus. We're exploring this. You were so
I
on
know.
board. I was literally putting literal saddles on like Greyhounds, and we
I was
rode
like,
it.
hold
We're
on,
like, yeah,
wait, what is happening?
that's totally normal. Let's learn
I was
more.
like, yeah. Well, you know what?
She was
I don't put
committed
anything
to
past
it, man.
anybody. I commit to everything always. No, but I was like, is that a thing you could do because they're huge? So like maybe you can like dog horses. I don't know.
Dog.
Dog horse.
Greyhounds are not
That's
huge.
awesome.
They're small.
They're tall.
They're
So I
Right.
went
tall.
with
They're not
tall.
stocky.
Ring
I
ring.
went with tall. That's why I said I go with mastiffs because
They're
of-
literally
manager of-
running bones, man.
The manager of Greyhounds on the phone right now. Get out of there now.
Like,
They wanna
don't
put a
even.
saddle. You can't do this.
what are you doing?
We don't have enough stunt dogs. Get out of there.
So I'm not allowed to have greyhound dogs, guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is me with my saddle.
Hey,
This not the time. Not the time.
ironically, though, putting a saddle on a greyhound would probably be more enjoyable ride than actually going on a greyhound bus. So
I mean, I
I
would
think
I would go more for a Great Dane if we're trying to ride dogs. I mean,
look at
Bull
look
Mastiff
at this
maybe.
person trying to upgrade
Mastiffs.
their ride already. It's like, yeah, we can all
Give
ride
me
a
a
mastiff if we want
Newfoundland.
to.
I'll just
My
say,
comedy only affords a greyhound, so I'm sorry. We're gonna have
we
to
can't
make
all be me. That's what I know. Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
oh. Well, hey, that was better than what I had stored, so we'll just go with that. That was fun.
anyways,
That was-
feel free to use that in your act.
Now that we're all dying from crying,
This is
Oh,
so.
good.
This is the problem. Is I take everything literally. So wherever my brain goes to first, I'm like, wait, are you serious right now?
she's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
wrong.
I'm
It
not
was a
wrong.
magical time. I really, it
I've
was
heard
fun.
that before.
That's what he said.
Oh, we switched it. You know what? You guys have
Hey,
good comedy
hey.
timing.
I'm an equal opportunity. That's what they said. Kind of person. Okay. Just like I'm an equal opportunity insulter. Everybody gets it equally.
When I rode the bus in the South, they would kind of South. We'll talk about it later, but Southern enough. The bus driver would always put on Paul Harvey, and I would Paul Harvey endorses local banks and equal opportunity employers. And every time I hear that, I always hear it in Paul Harvey's voice. Do you know who Paul Harvey is?
I do not.
I don't either.
He's
But I feel
he's
like I
just an
should.
he's an old Midwestern pundit who would just like kind of be like a Midwestern Andy Rooney. He would just
Oh,
show
okay,
up with,
okay.
and this is more to think about. And he would do
Oh, I think I
long,
do know who this is. He's a broadcaster.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sounds
I
like
do know who that
Mr.
is.
Rogers' grandfather.
yeah. He didn't laugh.
Kind
I
of looks
mean,
like
he
Mr.
would.
Rogers' grandfather.
Yeah, it's kind of what he wasn't as good as an interviewer, I don't think, but as Mr. Rogers. But I just always remember that it was like our bus driver would pick up kids screaming all of a sudden, more to know. And I was like, this guy's on it today. Like,
I was speaking of Mr. Rogers, I was such a backwards kid. Like all the shows that you're supposed to watch as a kid, I hated them. They like freaked me out. Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross, all that shit. I didn't like it.
Who's watching Bob Ross as a kid? Hold up.
But give me The Exorcist and I'm good.
Who's
Yeah, I know.
watching Bob
We're-
Ross as a kid?
I
yeah,
was.
like
Isn't
Happy
that
Little
the
trees. It's the
that's
Panther.
literally watching paint dry. And you thought
I
like this is my
mean-
jammy jams.
Grandma's over here. I'm so enthralled right now.
You think 5-year-olds like, hold up, quiet, Dad. He's getting ready to clean his brush. Yeah, that's where it's at. Teenage Mutant brush cleaning.
Actually, I was trying to learn how to paint myself, guys.
See, I will give you credit on that. He
Fair.
does take like a literal butter knife and make majestic mountains and rivers.
He
I'm like, how does he
literally
even do that?
I'm pretty sure he's a serial killer. That's
I mean,
the
who
general
knows?
consensus. All the places he painted were places he hid bodies, guys.
He was a veteran, and I hear that there's
Oh.
some PTSD stuff that can lead to those sorts
And
of
I can
things.
add to that
so-
conspiracy because no one, unless you were gifted an original Bob Ross, no one has a Bob Ross painting because his family has sold not a single one. They're sitting in a closet, almost like evidence in an apartment in New York, never to be sold. So if you actually see one on eBay, it's always Bob Ross inspired. He never sold
Huh.
a single one of his paintings. So
Hmm.
yeah, I threw you for a loop on that one. I have too much time on my hands.
Welcome to Thriving in Chaos, where we question everything.
Yeah, like well, I always thought it was weird because I was like, man, I want a Bob Ross. I was in, when he was on Twitch, killing it on there. I was like, dude, Bob Ross is pretty cool. I'm on this train. So I was trying to get one of his paintings, couldn't find it. Found out that they did like articles and research. He doesn't sell them unless you were actually gifted. And I think they were under certain things, like even if you were gifted one, you can't sell it, like an Oscar type thing. So
Huh.
like, yeah, weird stuff. So if you were thinking he was just painting crime scenes. You might be a little bit right. That's all I'm saying.
I've heard
Interesting.
of celebrities that specifically, like when they sign autographs, they specifically sign your name and shit so you can't resell them.
Yeah,
And
I've heard that.
that story about Bob Ross kind of reminds me of Elvis and like how nobody, whether in life or in death, was allowed to, like, very few people are allowed to go to the second floor of his mansion.
I mean, I
Like,
didn't know that. That's see, the only thing I knew about Elvis was he was a revolutionary larger man because he
Mhm.
literally liked this golden loaf, which is like a pound of bacon, bananas, and peanut
Yes,
butter
and peanut butter
stuffed
and
in
all
a
that stuff.
French
Yep.
bread.
Yep.
So he hiked up all his people, ordered a plane, and flew like across the country to get 6 of them one day. And I was like, I totally understand because if I had the
Yeah.
money, I might get a cheesesteak, from Philly.
Yeah.
You know, I'd get boys, let's get the plane together, fill it up. We're getting some good cheesesteak. So I
Hell
thought that
yeah,
was
let's go, man.
that's revolutionary, like big guy stuff, like the first guy to ever put a slice of cake in a bowl and pour milk over it. You're a legend. You
Like
started a
brilliant.
trend. Tip
he
my
he
hat to
made
you, dude.
cake cereal.
He did cake cereal, dude. I'm sorry you
Do
haven't
you
lived until you
know?
had a wet cake.
Do you have any idea how many
Everybody
years?
loves a wet cake.
That's what he said.
Yes. I'm so happy.
That's what she said. But do you have any idea how many years my mother tried to convince me that Elvis was my father because she was
Oh
so
my
in love
God.
with him?
Whoa.
Like
Well, I'm
every
pretty sure your
time.
mom was over 14, so. I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
saying.
Every
That's way
time that,
better.
like, you know how they
Better
used
than
to
the
do like
actual father.
the commemorative CD commercials and things back in the day, like the early 90s.
Mhm.
Every time one of those would come up with Elvis, my mom be like, "Look, there's your daddy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, where's he at now?" Oh, he died before you were born.
He's dead. Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, if he died way back in this time and I wasn't born till this time, your
Something
math's
add up,
not
Ma.
mathing." I'm like, "I don't think I was born 5 years after he died, Mom."
You're asking too many questions.
That's the problem, really.
that's what my mom would say. You ask too many questions. Go turn the TV for
Oh,
me.
trust me. After I realized that obviously Elvis was not my dad, she tried to convince me that half the wrestlers on TV were.
Oh my God. One of them
See,
are.
I knew it because first, my mom was like, "See, Jake the Snake, that's your dad right there." And I always think like, you could have picked someone else at least, like someone
Right?
higher on the card,
Literally
who's
anyone
not
else.
just the most. I was like, I didn't. I was like, but the truth is, my mom, she had I had 3 stepdads named Ed. She married 3 Eds in a row.
Oh my God,
my
you're
God.
your own version of Ed and Eddie.
I am, with less commercial breaks and more interludes of. It's more like Ed, and Eddie and Cops had a crossover. It was kind of
Oh,
like that every.
yeah.
Sounds like my life story.
But no, the joke is, and this is where I write the joke, and it's actually true because she did marry 3 Eds, and then she married a Greg, and I always like, Greg finally stopped the rule of imperialistic Eds, and we've got a new era in my life. But the first, she had a tattoo on her arm that said Ed, and the joke is, she knew we were poor, so she knew it was cheaper to find a man in the trailer park named Ed and get it removed or add
Yeah.
to it. So she was just, that's what she was doing. That's just a
The
smart
fact
woman.
that there's so many people in the trailer park named Ed raises some flags there.
Oh yeah, so much mustache too. They all looked almost
Oh, of
identical.
course.
Yeah, you're thinking, hey, viewers and you, picture a guy named Ed. That was 3 of them. That was my stepdad.
I picture Ricky or Julian from Trailer Park Boys being
Less
Ed.
hair on the top, but yeah, they're a mixture of both. So yeah, that's how it worked.
Here's like in general, they're the same person.
When you live in a trailer park so much, Trailer Park Boys, sometimes episodes turn into real documentaries. They're not spoofs. Like, I remember that. I remember that right there. That's what happened. That's how I ate 9 cans of ravioli that one time. I understand you.
That one time at trailer park camp.
See, that's the thing. It's always camping when you're in the trailer park. You just stick a tent out. There's sometimes tents out there year round. You never know when Uncle Larry or Uncle Trevor needs a place to stay for a little bit. You just need to play outdoor camping. Yeah, that's
Come
why I always
on,
thought it
guys,
was
make
weird.
room for your Uncle Daddy.
We
Uncle
would
Daddy.
we would always our vacations would go, let's go camping so we can live poorer than what we do now. Like, no, that's
Yeah.
we just got here. Let us stay here for a little bit.
You know what, Ed?
I
Makes me
Go
think
ahead.
when
We
I was a
had diff-
kid.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Like I didn't grow up in a trailer park. I literally live in the same house I grew up in. But like we used to camp out in the backyard, and I'm like, what? Wait, why did they kick us out of the house?
Ooh.
This
See,
is
there's probably
interesting.
you have
I
different
wa-
reasons. We were probably kicked out of a house for a different thing, but
For
we
Uncle
also
Daddy?
maybe that chemistry set they had the back of the trailer. You never know.
Oh yeah.
But
I
our vacations were, hey guys, let's go to the motel for a week, and they have air conditioning and they have a pool, and we would do it because it was cash only. We would go there and just take all the pillows and like, oh man, look, they put a coffee maker in here. They're so nice. We're gonna take that home. And I
Shop at
didn't
the
know
motel.
that was not what you're supposed to do. So when I grew up and had a card on the thing, I actually did that. I was like, yeah, let's get some towels. I want a robe. And that bill was almost $350. They charged me later. I was like, how did my mom do it? Like, I thought they were complimentary. That's
you
ridiculous.
for real could have just bought the entire section at the dollar store for that much.
Oh my gosh.
And the thread count was ridiculous on those pillows. It's
Oh
just,
yeah. I
my
mean,
gosh.
I went recently a couple months ago with a friend of mine to Salem, and we stayed in a 5-star hotel for one night, and it was like a $200 deposit plus like the room was like $350 plus the mini bar, all the sodas in it were $7 a piece. The snacks in it were like $5 to $7 a piece, and they were little tiny bags of like freaking trail mix and shit. It wasn't nothing fancy.
Yeah, no, that's when you
but
go to
I'm
the
just
dollar
a,
store on your way.
Yeah.
boom. Well, see, that's what I'm in a lot of hotels and stuff. And what I find the true litmus test of a good hotel is if they actually have cable or not. If they just have one of these apps, they're like, go to mytv.org / and you can see diners, drive-ins, and dash a ridiculousness for like you're in county jail for the next your whole stay here. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Come on, guys.
Or when
Like,
they're like, you can log into your own account at Netflix or whatever to watch TV, and you're like, oh,
yeah, this is they give you instructions how to like,
how to
or
log
it
into
gets real
your
bad.
account.
Well, our Wi-Fi, which side of the place are you? Oh, you're on that side? Well, you're going to want to go to your Wi-Fi and type in Burger King because you can get Wi-Fi on that side for the Burger King that's close there. Oh, thanks. So free breakfast is at 7 a.m. And don't worry, everyone that lives here is going to be there awkwardly staring at you as you get your eggs. Hey,
Exactly.
guys, you live here? This is cool. Should have read the Yelp reviews.
Right, right. So I always love those eggs too, because you're like, there's no kitchen where they're bringing these eggs from. What is
Oh.
happening?
Microwave. You
Yeah,
never
exactly.
had microwave eggs?
Oh, I have
Yeah,
absolutely.
Actually,
but
Yeah.
like hotel
I
eggs.
used to work in a hotel, so I know the behind the scenes. So some of it is microwave, but like the eggs have like the pans that they're in are heated, so it heats them up.
Yeah, that
It
weirds
cooks
me out.
them.
That weirds
So
me
pan
out.
like
that
they
they're in
come in the
cooks them.
pans already cooked? Or you just gotta
Or just put
No,
raw
like
eggs in
it-
a pan and let them cook.
No, the eggs come like
Hold up.
already. They come basically frozen in a bag, guys, and they just put them in there.
That's what you mean. I thought you're putting like raw eggs in there and you're just like letting them cook because that's enough heat. And I was like, that
Again,
doesn't
they're
feel
like
safe.
I'm
flash
with you.
frozen.
I was thinking even weird, like it was in a container already, like a metal container. You just had to smack the bottom and it's heated up immediately.
It's
like
not a fucking
heating
ice
pad.
pack, Tim.
I was like, that's what I was like, those
The
are
opposite.
emergency eggs. That's pretty cool.
They're not
Great.
MREs, man. They're still frozen.
There's like those hot hand things, but for food.
You can't just
I was-
pop them in your mouth and have
Pop the
egg
disc.
popsicles.
I was like, they're eating that on Everest right now. They're just like, hey guys,
Right.
all right, who wants some eggs?
But how
Hey,
many
guys,
people could have been saved
I
on
got the good
Everest?
stuff over here. I got egg popsicles. It's-
Okay,
It
you got
tastes
me
like
on that
frozen.
one.
It tastes like egg ice cream. What do you want me to say?
Oh,
No,
oh,
no,
that
it
sounds
makes
terrible.
I know you guys wouldn't know it, but I am a graduate of Hamburger University or McDonald's College. So,
I'm
hey
sorry.
guys.
I mean, no,
I
that's
know.
great.
Yeah. So I was actually old school when I worked there in the mornings. The folded eggs where you actually had to fold them using a liquid egg product. Now they just come in a bag and you microwave them or heat them up on the grill, so they're all pre-folded. But back in the day, you would have to
Yeah.
literally fold them and stuff. It what I'm not going to say back in the day it was real eggs. It wasn't. It was liquid eggs. We,
It was
that's
egg
what I was
Not
like.
product.
much has
That's
changed.
what it's called. Yeah, it comes in a milk carton, like chocolate milk or like
Like
bad
those, like,
eggnog.
what are they like? They do sell eggs like that, but it's like but I think
Yeah.
it's like egg whites.
Well, they
Oh,
do egg beaters or different things.
yeah, yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
You
That
would
Y'all
be
makes
the
sense.
remember
one to
Golden
talk about
Corral?
egg beaters, wouldn't you, buddy?
Yeah, immediately when it came out of my mouth, I was like, that didn't feel right.
That's what she said.
Something wrong with that.
Oh my
That's what she
goodness.
said.
Tastes like eggs. Uh,
She is having a heck of a life. That's what I said. Like, she's
she really is. She really is. She's
I gotta live vicariously through somebody. It might as well be you guys.
Oh, I was
as well be
right. I was because egg prices are going up. I make the jokes like you guys need to think get a bag of eggs, the liquid egg products for $40. You got like 40 cartons of eggs right there. You don't have to worry. But I wouldn't do that. That's a joke. It's not eggs.
Yeah, no, that's
It's an egg slurry, and I don't think that sounds good.
oh, that's gross.
I just tell the chickens to go work the street corner and keep the pimp hand strong.
I just pictured a rooster with a pip cane and a chalice. Get on out there, get me some feed. You know.
Oh, here I am thinking hens with like bras and little skirts.
Yeah, man, we got Hugh Cochner.
This chicken's like,
Stop.
let's
Or-
ruffle some feathers.
Or we can have Hugh Heifer, like the cow. Hugh Heifer.
I'm from the South. What do you say? Your chickens don't already have brasiers on and underwear? Is that just us in the South?
It's just y'all.
I know my sheep has crotchless panties. Yours
we
doesn't.
don't we don't
Like, how
do
do
that. Well, look, my family.
Ours are edible here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gonna
you're
start
gonna
with
eat the
foreplay,
sheep.
guys.
You might as well eat what's on them too.
I don't like wool in my teeth.
Gonna say
So,
you gotta shave them
It's
first,
too
Tim.
racist.
Obviously, everybody likes it
Obviously,
shaved.
right? Nobody
well,
likes
oh,
it
look
hairy.
at me. I like my sheep all natural. Let's shame Tim. Shame.
You're the one that said you don't like wool in your gummies. Okay, if you don't want to eat wool panties, then
Just
that's on
turned
you.
into the Game of Thrones. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Am I gonna have to kick you down into the Sparta pit, sir? This is Sparta.
This is Sparta. What'd you say about wool? Come here. Come over here by the pit. Come here in leg distance to the pit right now.
You don't want wool in your gummy panties? What's wrong with you? Just and then my brain is like,
Ha! Ha! And my mouth is sucked dry.
Rebel's gonna pee herself.
I might have
It's
already.
like, it's like I'm eating a grandma's sweater. Ha! Ha!
I'm done with y'all. Ah!
You're not Roman unless you get down there. Get the wool.
You go haggis as you try to cough it up. Something wrong with y'all.
You're just not
Yeah,
cool
it's
unless
rough.
you eat
I'll
woolly
tell you
pants.
what, it's rough being a farmer these days. Let's get in there.
Clearly,
Oh my god.
Ha!
at least it's soft, I guess.
That's what she said.
It's called wool sockitis. I just my throat so that I can barely breathe.
You cough and a sweater comes out. Oh, it's cold.
The doctor, That's the third case this week I've seen. This is ridiculous. It's an epidemic.
It's an epidemic.
Don't farmers know about polyester? Come on.
Cotton's from a plant, guys.
I saw this episode on The Pit. This is what happened on The Pit. This is emergency room. Yeah. This was episode 12. It was a hard-hitting episode.
Oh, the things
Real
we get
life.
ourselves into.
The manager of how sex got you in the ER just called, like, hey Tim, we're gonna do a whole special on you. Come on down.
You're hired.
You're hired. Actually, season 3, just you. Let's go.
We'll pay you $69 on the way out.
That's what she said.
We'll pay you in polyester. Don't worry, we'll take care of you.
You can
You'll
keep
never
all
have to
the
lick wool again in
outfits.
your life.
No, he's gonna end up going on that show, My Strange Addiction, and be like, "Hi, my name is Tim. I have a problem. I'm addicted to crotchless, woolless panties that you eat."
Hello, I'm Tim. I can't stop eating crotchless wool pants. I can't breathe.
Shopping for a sweater somewhere, and you're like, I wonder if this is real wool. It is.
I could tell. That's from Indonesia. That's Indonesia wool. I could tell. Hold on.
That's hickory
April.
smoked right
Season
there.
of April. That's a spring wool. I could tell by the taste. Spring.
It's just like spring.
Fall wool's
Irish
a little bit more bitter.
spring.
Yeah, exactly. You could tell. So
Oh,
become the first. What was it? The wine experts. I'm the wool expert. I'm just like
Connoisseur. You're a wool connoisseur.
connoisseur. Sorry, that 1-2 stops syllables dead in its track. I know what I'm supposed to say, but that 1-2 is like, it's like Gandalf to some syllables. You shall not pass.
No.
He's gonna pop up one day and be like, "And you thought woolly mammoths were extinct?"
I just pictured me doing it, being a farmer to a sheep, getting in there, and then a woolly mammoth just puts a leg on the table and goes, "So, what are you doing, big boy?
Me
Come on.
next.
Let's get prehistoric in here. What are you talking about? Let's do it."
Call
I'm
me
not as
Fred
cold as you thought
Flintstone.
I was.
I could just picture it. Call me Bam Bam. Call me Bam Bam. Oh, Pebbles.
Pinch my tusk. Pinch my tusk.
Oh,
Boy, life of a farmer. I'll tell you what.
gotta get my step stool.
That's why they have gloves that's elbow length for farmers. You just
Oh,
never
yeah.
know.
Yeah, because it's time to go hunt and gather, guys.
There's going to be a whole lot of gathering.
Get ready, because this shit's about to get heavy.
Oh God.
Oh, you good peeps. You funny. You good peeps. Thank you. Oh, man, I appreciate this.
This is like the
I don't-
funniest episode I think we've had. Maybe this probably is the funniest episode I think we've
Yeah,
had.
it's between this one and the
This and the
potluck for
potluck.
sure.
Well,
Oh,
I've
sounds like
never
a good
seen
time,
so
man.
much ADHD in one room.
you gotta watch the potluck episode. Oh my God, it is like nonstop ridiculousness. There's 4 of us, and it's nonstop ridiculousness. We can't even stay on topic to save our lives.
Yeah. The
We're
whole
supposed to be
point-
talking about food.
I never got to talk about mine because they outvoted me with the ADHD bullshit.
You wanted to go last.
They were like, "Hey, Rebel, what'd you make?" "Oh, let's talk about Stacy's chicken tits and Stella's pork ass." So we had Poltergeist and Porky's Revenge.
Yeah.
They used, when I found out on the packaging, it literally said pork butt. I couldn't eat a pork steak
Oh.
again. I was like, it felt like I was just in the just like this feels like I'm violating the pig a little bit. Could they
Do
say
you know what my
something else?
problem is? It says pork butt on the package, and every time I either have to poke it or slap it, and I'm like, that's not the thing that you should be doing to this.
I don't know that that's a problem. I think that's what you should be doing.
You
Like,
put
that's
butt
the-
on it, and I have to slap it. That's what
See,
I
here in the
know.
South,
You
they
gotta
put
make
thong
sure you get a
panties on
whole
all the pork
handful of
butts.
that ham.
It's real weird when you buy a pork butt with thong panties and it already has a tramp stamp on it. You're like, oh, this is a good piece. You're like, hell yeah, let's get going.
Literally, if
taste
I
the
were a
cool
pig
menthol in it.
farmer, I would totally. That's where I would do my little like brand. I would just put it right there every time.
A tramp stamp, guys. It's not the poor pig's fault. He got passed around like a party favor.
Look, you're probably right. However,
He can't
That's
help that he got
hilarious.
a hot ass. He cannot help that he is a hot piece of ass that tastes good.
I'm literally going to eat my dinner off of it later. So like it's
You don't you know you never go ass to mouth.
only for pork butt. Only for pork butt.
Yeah,
You
I
slap
mean,
me.
unless you don't want to have a good time, I'm just saying.
Now
like,
we know where Porky's revenge came from, don't we, Stella?
they make Listerine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
You just.
Just got to gargle it a little
What's
bit.
one thing you guys like food? Because regionally, Southern Illinois, we have like two things, maybe more, but olive loaf and peanut butter sandwiches with chili. Are those two things you have where you're from? That sound, or is that familiar?
No,
Ew.
no,
Oh,
that's
thank you.
weird to me.
Olive loaf is basically pressed ham with pimentos and green olives.
seen
in
it.
I do
Yeah.
eat olive loaf. I do like that, but
I actually feel like I
peanut butter
might
and
like it
chili-
now.
It's
peanut butter on
acquired.
chili. You're nah.
Yeah, they used to serve it at schools here. Every time you had chili, you get a
Peanut
peanut butter
butter?
sandwich.
That's
Peanut butter
weird.
sandwich, and they use it for dipping. I think peanut butter is highly overrated. It's just nut
Whoa.
paste that no one wants in their mouth.
Whoa, I
That's
love
what she
nut
said.
paste in my mouth. That's what I know.
Oh, I guess
bet
it
you
wasn't
do
her.
love nuts in your mouth.
I misspoke.
that's funny.
Who cares how pasty they are?
I like it when it sticks to the roof of my mouth. Go to hell, y'all.
Apparently, she likes her men like she likes her nuts.
Well, it's a perfect season for if you like balls stuck to the roof
Ground
of your
up
mouth.
and in a
Summer-
jar, yes.
Well, I was gonna say
No, I
summer.
was thinking
There's a lot of
white and
humidity
Irish.
down there. It's good. There's, but we're all different places. It's good. It's good. We're getting our protein, and that's all that matters.
That's what she said.
Oh Lord.
Over here, we're known for crabs, and you can guess which kind.
The ones that live in Bikini Bottom.
I still don't know
Yes.
which kind.
I'm from
Those are
Maryland, so
So yeah, I was, but then you said Bikini Bottom, and then I was like, you guys are really funny. Are you talking?
like,
Is
that
this
could
like
go either
crabs
way.
with
Hold
that
up.
you need a special sauce for, or crabs you need a special shampoo for? So I was like,
It depends on
but
your
yeah.
flavor.
Speaking of Bikini Bottom, did you guys realize? Has anybody but me realized that number one, Mr. Krabs lives in Bikini Bottom, and number two, Mr. Krabs is the only crab in Bikini Bottom, yet he's making Krabby Patties. He's
Serial
eating
killer.
all the other crabs.
Well, I just, when you have a profit
He's a
margin,
serial crabber.
and I'm just gonna say, so the whole his store is a literal crab trap. You know that, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
crab. So like it's not a big. He's literally telling you, hey, this is what I do. Give me your money.
I'm a
Like that.
cannibal.
And nobody questions it.
Yeah, they actually stand in line. The way
Right.
it's crazy.
Well, I
but
mean, in
yeah.
all fairness, most fish eat crabs, so that's not
Yeah.
that much of a stretch.
It honestly sounds
However,
like
crabs don't eat crabs.
Well, you guys are actually. I'm going to say you too. I shouldn't say that. I'm assuming you're both on the coast. But like, you get
Well, she's not in
fresh
Maryland.
seafood. Okay, I'm sorry. You probably get fresh seafood then. I love here in a landlocked state. Everyone's like fresh seafood. I don't think it's getting shipped fresh frozen.
Yeah,
Like
it
there's
gets-
no. So
it
like
gets shipped
it's
here
got to
too.
be a difference. Like I've always wanted to go to a coast and get like fresh off the ocean food.
If you go, I wouldn't come here for that. But if you go, I mean, that's rude.
I'm going to go to Alabama where
Maybe go to
the
Maine,
Mississippi runs right into.
Go to
there you go.
Maine.
Ship room. I mean,
Oh,
if you
yeah, I've
come
heard this.
here and you go to like one of those like they have like these like shacks in different places where like people will be like selling crabs and stuff. Those places they catch the crabs and sell the crabs and then you can cook them. And some places will steam them for you and then you can just take them home and eat them. But outside of that, if you're going to like a restaurant, it's probably not. It's probably
I've-
imported.
I think I've only had imitation crab sticks. Like I don't think I've really had real crab. I
Oh
feel like
man.
that's almost. I feel like I should leave. I feel like I'm
Well,
insulting.
yeah, imitation
You're,
crab meat is literally
It's
made out
fish.
of fish. It's not even
Yeah.
yeah,
crab.
I'm not here to say it's good. I also listened to Limp Bizkit and went to see them live. I'm not saying I do
Fair
good
enough. I
things.
saw Nickelback
This is
live. I mean, we all have our things.
I like
hold
that.
up, hold up.
Nickelback live was actually
Say,
really good.
you're an
I'm not
ally.
gonna lie.
You're an ally. You stayed true because Nickelback never sucked. I'm glad everyone's getting back. They had banger after
I
banger, and oh,
I
and
want
now
to hate them, but like
This
it's like
is
one of those
how
things.
you
But
remind me.
the funny thing is I went to this concert with my friend and I was like, I don't really want to go because I don't even think I like Nickelback, and I literally knew every song. And I was like, it's one of those things. It's like Linkin Park, where they sneak up on you and you're like, crap, I know all these songs.
Mm-hmm.
I was singing along. I was like, whatever, this is a good time. They were great live. It's like,
the
ugh.
last show I went to was Loserville, so I went to see Limp Bizkit and Corey Feldman. And Corey, if you've never seen Corey Feldman, that's an experience. He
What kind of
is
an experience?
an experience. I don't know.
Insane.
It depends. It depends. I was having a good time regardless. Like this is one of the things. Like I was over cheering because I felt Corey needed that. Like he really
Oh yeah,
needed,
yeah,
you know. And but I think our little group, because our section did it too much, and it gave
yeah.
him
Hmm.
too much. Like after he got off stage, it's like, dude, Fred, I got a headline. Did you hear that crowd? They're chanting my name, like the king of the comebacks here, dude. Like,
I
but
feel so bad for him though. Like his story is so
Yeah,
tragic.
in all shapes or
both of
forms,
them.
I'm a big 80s movies fan. I just watched Stand By Me last week because I
That's a good
heard
one.
a lot more behind the scenes about the whole making of it with Rob Reiner and them. And I was like, instead of listening, let me watch it because that whole movie, if you think about it, like there's a lot of like River Phoenix, and then you
Mhm.
had Corey in there and Jerry O'Connell. There's a lot of history. Rob Reiner directed it, and it's an adaptation from Stephen King. Like a lot of a lot of things centered right there. And I really love the movie overall too. You know, Keith Sutherland's in it
Mhm.
as well, plays a great part. And I was like, I was watching YouTube and they were talking about the actors. I was like, I get into that because I don't know. Maybe I just like I feel like they were always saying the truth, and I'm glad we're listening. I think at the
Mhm.
time they were saying it too, but it was just at the time maybe context. Like, that's Hollywood, kid, get in there. And someone's
Mhm.
holding a cigar
Mhm.
and they kick you in the rear end. And I'm glad that he's being listened to. It just sucks. He has a glittery glove and he's dancing with a lampshade on while he's doing it now. But if he's happy, I'm happy. You know, like
Yeah.
that's one of
He's
those things.
sober.
And and he actually, you give him a lot of a crap. He performed his ass off. He did 3 outfit changes. Limp Bizkit didn't do that. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
They were all sequenced with his band, and I mean, like, dude, it's not my jam, but I've heard worse. I've heard
Yeah.
way worse. So, like, that's the thing.
Corey
Yeah.
Feldman actually a couple years ago did a horror movie that I actually kind of liked where I think it's called Splatter Day or something to the along those lines. And it was great. Like he played the band guy, and then all of his bandmates kind of conspire to like kill him, and then he like puts a curse and comes back, and yeah, it's hilarious, but it's great. Like it
Do
was
you
a
think it's
great comeback for him.
Do you think maybe, and this is just a broader question, because I think this might be the case. He was just a victim of Hollywood putting him in, typecasting him, putting him in a box. Like, especially maybe in the early '90s with the parts he was given, they made
I
him
feel like
be almost like a B movie actor. Like you have to go over the top.
I
This is what we
mean,
expect of
I feel
you.
like you could have ended that sentence at victim of Hollywood.
I
Yeah,
Period.
that's
mean,
true.
if we're
I
being
guess
Yeah.
yes.
honest, I feel like somebody sold his soul for him to the devil. Like he just
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
he never had anybody that had his back, because if he did, half the shit that happened to that guy wouldn't have happened. You know, that's one of the biggest things he said is like everybody turned against me for what they turned me into.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
that's true.
we were
same thing
12
happened with
years
Amanda
old.
Bynes.
He's like, we were 12 years old getting force fed drugs so they could do what they did to us.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody's mad at me for being
For having a drug problem, yeah.
for having a drug problem and being addicted to the drugs they gave us.
Well, oh man, I don't know. You guys, all right. This seems like a proper thing. That's what got me into it because River Phoenix, I always knew him and his family were part of a cult, and they actually escaped the cult later on. When I found out
Was it
that cult was
Scientology? No, I'm kidding.
no, it's actually way worse. I forget the guy's name. I think it was like Children of the Sun or like Children of God, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to leave.
I
But the call he
remember
did
Jim
leave.
Jones and I remember Heaven's Gate.
Well, this one was a kind of the lower tier. What they're famous is for. They mass produced children videos for the most heinous reasons why. I won't go into further. But there's actually that's the reason why I knew about it. It's shouldn't be infamous lost media because they can't find it was only hand delivered from people in the church. So when they did finally expose all the church misgivings and stuff like that, and I shouldn't say church cults misgivings, they destroyed most of these videos. So there's only like a few
Right.
clips of it, and it's basically teaching the kids about their horrid teachings of the cult and getting them prepared for. I won't get too much into it,
What
but
they
that's when I
do
was like,
down
"Whoa,
the line.
yeah, what they do."
Yeah,
And
we know the
his
darker side
family
of
was
entertainment too. We're not just
Yeah.
the fun parts. We take the good, bad, and the ugly and expose it all.
right. Well, see, and that's what I was like, "Whoa!" And I didn't know River Phoenix was part of that. It just started. It makes you think what's all connected and not,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
It's
boy,
such a
that was
sad thing
hilarious,
too.
right, guys?
Woo!
Right?
Way to pull it in
Woohoo!
at the end,
Knees.
Tim.
I mean, that's
Ah.
the problem. Like, we're fun and games until we're not. Like,
Well,
we're
I
not
also
all
think.
about the fun parts of life. We show the struggles of humanity
It's the truth.
as a
Yeah,
whole.
we just want the truth
And
as
well,
it is.
in any form of you talk about entertainment's real, and what
Yeah.
Corey experienced, and I Suxy experienced. I can't say doesn't happen on all levels still to this day in any entertainment. So I'm glad people are outspoken and getting rid of that,
hmm
and being
That's the
just
only way you
better
clear it.
to
Like
everyone.
it's. I don't even know what to compare it to. Mold comes to mind, but if you show it sunlight, it dies. You know what I mean? Like you bring it out into the light, and you can't do that anymore. Like it's not okay anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't. It was never okay, but we should
Right.
also be like,
It shouldn't
oh
have been
wait.
accepted in the first place.
Well, I feel like I have to, like, I'm talking for almost all men sometimes. Like, it was never okay, some of the actions we did growing up. It was just,
Yeah.
we thought it was okay because no one's looked right at it. If you grow
Right.
up and realize, humble yourself and do better. I'm not saying I'm here like, I'm a crazy college, but I can look back in some of my things and see where I was insensitive to other people's feelings
Oh,
or
absolutely.
was judgmental or I should have handled things differently. And that's what I was more
Well, that also
looking
makes
into.
you a good human too.
Don't throw
Fair.
that label on me. I still mess up. Like but
If you can reflect and you can see where you've done wrong and you can kind of make atonement for that, that is what makes you a good human.
it's probably a little bit ego. I read Puritans did it from like when I was in. I don't know. I loved this one teacher. He taught me literature in high school, and we were learning about Thomas Paine, famous Puritan, who was one of the
Mhm.
first American authors of the time, and it was just mostly sermons and stuff like that. And but I honored what the Puritans thought and was, regardless, every day they thought they could do better than the next. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, that's I don't know. I mean, they seem a little some of his sermons seem a little
Crazy.
heavy-handed, but
Yeah.
that seems logical. So I took that away from it and tried to do in there. And also
Well,
just
the
working
thing
with
is like
people.
that's so simple and it's so funny because like even as you go, like it's really not that difficult to be better. You just have to be better than yesterday, and that's really what it comes down to.
Well, when you're producing shows, I produce shows with stand-up comedians. I try to do that. You have to be the leader too, and it took me a while. I made a lot of mistakes. You got to be a
Mhm.
leader. You got to make sure the people you employ are all safe as well, no
Yeah.
matter what. And safe is safe in ask them. Like, do you feel safe? Did this person like just that way?
Mhm.
Because I'm not trying to insinuate, but we perform. Even I sometimes feel unsafe in some of the bars I go to perform at. So I can't imagine. And I'm surrounded by my buddies and heavy equipment. I can't
Right.
imagine a lone comic alone, and stuff like
Right.
that.
Oh my god.
So I've been trying to be more aware and be better for everyone in there. Because when I first started producing shows, I was just like, "Yeah, dude, I'm happy, living the dream," and I didn't take it as seriously. I think I should have, and I think a lot of people didn't get hurt, but didn't get a professional show that they should have,
Yeah.
in all forms.
That's
Hilarious
fair.
again. All right, hey, we're getting back into it, but
No, I love
yeah,
that though because but you're showing the levity between like I don't even think that was the right word. But the balance between the two where it's like you have a certain professionalism you want to meet, but then also like you also have a certain level of fun you want to meet. So there's two sides to that.
that's true. Like I try to keep it light.
Yeah.
I hate to be that because we're not in a comedy club. Most of my shows are independent. So unless you have a good place, you're performing. Hey, we've moved the pool table over, and that Miller Lite sign will be your light. Like okay, cool.
Right.
So
Right.
I already know you're working at a disadvantage, so I want you to have a good time.
Right.
I'm not going to worry if you mess up a joke. I'm not going to light you if you go over or under time. We're going to have a great time and just do the best. If you want to experiment, experiment. We call it almost like a comedy workout. Get some lifts
Hmm.
in if you want. No one from Netflix is in this bar, so don't worry.
Right.
If you fall flat, no one's going to be like, "Oh, I saw Tim Lawson, Edwardsville, and it's over. His career's done." Like, no, you're fine. Let's just keep it going. And in certain and I've been trying to do that. Also, I guess it's enlightening to see your area. I say I'm kind of in the
Hmm.
South. I say Illinois. A lot of people think they're Democratic. Below Chicago isn't really the case, and I've dealt with a lot of things I would never think about doing by bringing people to certain areas that they don't approve of. Basically, racism, bigotry,
Hmm.
misogynist, and that
All
stuff.
the good fun stuff, right?
All the good stuff, that especially when they're inebriated and the bar
Oh.
owners, well, I can't kick out Carl. Carl
Right.
pays 30% of the bills around here because he never leaves. Like, oh, come on.
Carl
And it's just,
Papa.
yeah. But yeah, that's some of the things I think it's getting better because people are being more aware and stuff like that as well. And I'm getting better for them as well. Um, if they don't respect us, then I don't push it. I try to maybe go to a different place or venue because the mutual respect between venue and worker has to be there. If that is gone, then the crowd will
Yeah.
sense it, and it almost turns into like Animal House the movie, but not. Yeah, yeah. Animal House wasn't that funny, anyways. So yeah, almost like it. Just
Right.
awful, things like that. So that's one of those things. And I've actually found some good comics too that have helped me out recently. I have some stories where comics didn't handle it so well and decided to fight a town or various reasons. So like
That
you
sounds like a
meet them
movie.
all. I want to. I want to make a movie in some of this, but also it's disheartening because I'm like, man, am
Yeah.
I really that good of a show producer? Or are people just nuts out there? But it's one of those things.
We're
It's
gonna
a
go
little
with
mixture.
maybe both.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're
Yeah.
probably both on that. You're smart on that. But we've been doing really well this summer. We're on our me and my group that we're running. We're on our fourth season, our third year doing tours. So it's mostly Midwest, like through Kansas down to almost Kentucky to Ohio type region around there,
Wow.
just through travel. And you've seen how funny I am. Would you give me a ticket and a hotel to California? Come on, I'm Reno funny right here. I'm Reno. That's where. Right. I'm actually maybe Branson funny. Yakov
I feel like
Smirnoff, watch out.
I feel like you take them one at a time. You take that city, and then you take the next one, and then you take the next one, and there you go.
That's how
And then
I
you
do
end
it.
up in
I have
California.
Well, see, I have a really good family and wife, and I'm not one of those
Good.
comics with, oh, my poor wife that loves me and my horrible. I have a really great life. So like I love being here. So I'm at that level I could go nationally and do it, but I don't want to spend 6 months away from my family, come
Right.
home with
Right.
a bunch of postcards and $250
Right.
because I can
Yeah.
only make enough money to sustain. So like that's why I tell people I could do it, But that's why I'm happy, like right here. If they
Right.
offer me times and we're there, that'd be great. But I'm kind of what I do solely because I know where I'm at is try to get people ready to do what I can't or want
Hmm.
to do. And that's like, and that group right now I'm working with, I think is ready. If they wanted to go further nationally, each East Coast or so, they can do it. It's just
That
right
would be
now
awesome.
I'm content where I'm at. I could do it. I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything. Like I could do it. I just don't think it's fiscally or morally responsible for my family right now.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, that doesn't really make you arrogant either. That's just you speaking the truth of where you are
I
right
hate
now.
saying like, oh, I could totally do it.
I
It's
could
like, yeah,
totally
it
like.
just makes me wash my hands. Where's the Purell? Like, it
Ooh,
just makes
so
me.
gross now.
Well, also as a comedian, you never want to get that ego because the
Right.
comedy, they'll not. That means if I think too much of myself, I'm gonna bomb really hard the next time. And so
Yeah.
they like to equal out comedy, karma, or whatever you want to call it. Seems
Harmony.
very real. Yeah, exactly.
Harmony.
You see so many young comics, especially they're like, I'm hilarious. They have one good set, and now they're like, don't
Oh,
talk to me, talk to my manager. Like, ha ha ha. Like, chill
Talk
out,
to the
dude.
hand. Talk
Yeah.
to the hand.
You don't understand. I'm the funniest person in Sig Michigan. You don't know who I am? No one does. And that's okay. I'm not saying you're not funny. I'm just saying marketing hasn't
maybe
reached
you're not there
nationally
yet.
for you yet. Yeah, yeah. Just go
Yeah.
have fun though.
There
There's
was
a
a
lot of good
guy.
comics.
We used to. She and I used to work in a movie theater together. There's a guy that used to perform locally, like very, very locally, very small venues, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so funny," and he was always do that. He's literally made it nowhere
Yeah.
ever, never.
Well, see, my one thing for comics now, if you're listening to this and you're a comic or want to get into comedy, it's so much easier to control the destiny in comedy. It's not like the 80s where you have
Hmm.
to go to comedy clubs. You still have to do the fundamentals. You have to be funny, have a decent enough set, learn how to
Absolutely.
market and know the business. But you can buy a P, you can get a Facebook page, you can get a .com, you can promote all that stuff. You can literally control your whole career in comedy if you want. And that's what's
Yeah.
great at this time. I always tell people, well, I can't make it to the club. I'm born in a cornfield 90 miles away from everything. So I made the stage
Eating gummy
and did
panties
it
off a
myself.
sheep. So
Exactly. It's hard to be a farmer out here. You got we're about out of crotchless panties too. I better start telling some
you
jokes
better start.
because
Yeah,
it's
seriously, start hogging this stuff.
because if you start eating wool without crotchless panties, it just becomes a weird sexual thing. You're not a
Yeah.
farmer anymore.
You know, I don't want to have to keep the pimp hand strong, man. But I will
That's when
if
the
you
rooster
make me.
comes in. Cock-a-doodle-doo,
Right.
motherfucker. It's the ring.
It's cock-a-doodle-doo time, bitch. And on that note, we have reached the end of our time.
Well, I want to keep talking. I hate when that happens.
I know, right? It went quick. We're actually 10 minutes over just about.
I don't care.
Um,
That's fine.
So, is there anything you want to leave the audience with? Like maybe where to find some of your work or anything you got coming up?
Yeah, of course. I also thank you guys for having. This was a very
Yeah.
enjoyable time.
Thank you
and
for
you
taking
guys
the
are
time out to
hilarious.
talk to us.
Yeah,
was
thanks
amazing.
for sticking with us there through all the ADHD topics and
I
the
will tell you,
crotchless edible panty woolly
I've had
panties.
two children. This might be the third best experience of my life. Oh, sorry, fourth. I got
Oh,
married. Sorry, wife. She almost threw something at me. Fourth best experience of my
was that a
life.
plate that
It,
just went over your head? Oh,
it was. It was. We'll CG it out in post.
yeah, it's
But
fine. That's what
you can
editing is for.
actually
We don't edit,
find
but we
me
will
on.
for you.
Yeah, that's CGI blood from the thing coming up. No, I'm kidding. www.timloss, LOSS, comedy, all one word.com. You can find me on there and you can find where I'm performing next. And you can
And
find
do
links
not
to my.
loss that website, okay?
Do
Don't
not.
loss it.
Don't. We'll find you. We'll find you. We got your IP address already. No. But you can find all my tour dates on there and you'll find a full-length comedy special and parts of my Helen series that goes to my YouTube channel where I'm recently celebrating over 2 million views. I know it's small, but we're getting there. We're starting the channel. So I
2
got
million
small
views is
skits.
nothing to sneer at, sir.
That's
I know.
amazing.
I just made it seem. I
We
know,
would
pretty
love
cool.
to get to that level, okay? I don't want to have
It's
to, tell you to read between the lines or anything.
it's shorts. I bet. But you can see my Helen series where Me and my fictitious wife Helen talk about YouTubes and the Snapchats and full length comedy specials on there. So
Does the real wife know about the fake wife?
yeah, she actually partakes in it as well. Her name isn't Helen, it's Nicole, and
So
she
you
it's
got sister wives going on over there.
well no I
The real
my
wife
wife's
plays well with the
my
fake
wife
one.
is a Chicago Italian. If there's another woman in here, there's cement
Oh.
shoes around the corner. She ain't gonna mess around. She knows
Yeah.
people. I've already said too much. I'm about no.
There's another woman. She's dead in the background somewhere. Dismembered in the bathtub.
So
But,
that's why it's so cold in their house.
It's actually a playoff. I hate to say it. My cousin Wayne and his aunt and my aunt Helen, they were a really ridiculous Southern couple. So I use that as caricatures for the internet to play
I love that.
characters. So.
I
And
love
here,
that.
A
I
lot of
thought it
people,
was
I
based
play
on
it
Wait Till
well.
Helen Comes.
A lot of people think Helen is real. So Helen, my cousin brother Trevor, they all think it's real.
Your cousin brother?
Yeah, hey, we got a family of love here at the Lost Family. It's a circle.
Apparently, you're keeping it all in the family. If you got a cousin brother and an uncle daddy.
Hold on.
Well, you know, we know we like to keep it
How
royalty
far
around
south
here.
are you?
South enough for wool crotchless panties. That's what I'm telling you. It's hard to be a farmer out here.
Edible woolly panties. They're edible, not crotchless. That defeats the purpose.
Hold on.
Well,
Rebel,
see, that's the thing. You're not thinking. You're thinking already ahead. They were edible. We made them crotchless. That's how we're doing. It's the process right there. We
Homemade.
ate them. That's
homemade.
Homemade.
we bought it off Etsy. We bought it off of Etsy.
They're homemade.
Yours are homemade and then home ate.
I don't know, but my mouth is dry. That's all I'm gonna say.
I always have my cup because I talk too much. And we laugh.
Thank you guys for having me so much. This is amazing. You guys
Yeah.
are awesome.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you so much for being
we
here. This is
really
fantastic.
appreciate you. You're
You guys
another
are
one
great.
we could talk to forever if
Oh
if
my
they'd
gosh.
let us.
Yeah,
They don't. Actually,
they don't.
they're telling me they're actually buzzing the electronic monitor around my ankle right now. I gotta go. They're
You didn't even leave
they,
the house.
they got us. They got us.
Found
You
us.
know, and then
Yes.
and I'm already the manager of Pepperoni's still pissed on me. I've had him on hold for about 30 minutes, so he's gonna get pissed about
He's
this whole
still
situation.
pissed on you? Well, that's no fun.
I
Tell
was
him you'd
hoping
rather
he
be
didn't.
pissed off next time.
He's trying to get his
Well, you know
prostate
how
in
those
here. What's
old
wrong
world
with you?
pepperonis are. They can't hold their prostate. You just got to help out. That's why they cup up. You
Just tell him to become a Fanceroni pepperoni and he'll be okay.
Fanceroni pepperoni.
Little Caesars
Right.
can tell him how to do it.
I'm gonna leave it there.
That's what she said. And on that note, we out.